back here on opening night, and before we move ahead into the season, I wanted to summarize a few of the blockbuster trades that happened previously in the offseason. And the first one we're going to go ahead and look at is the Anaheim Ducks, who traded away their longtime goaltender John Gibson and Alex Texier to the Montreal Canadiens for Alex Newhook and a sixth. The next one I wanted to look at was the Toronto Maple Leafs made a couple big trades. And the first one was Adam Bogfist to the Calgary Flames for a second-round pick. And then they made a couple of trades with Vancouver, sending David Kampf and Joseph Woll to the Vancouver Canucks for a sixth and a second-round pick. And then the even larger trade Toronto made to the Edmonton Oilers, Conn Smythe winning Morgan Riley and a fifth to the Edmonton Oilers for Jeff Skinner and a second-round pick. And those were the two major trades that happened. Some of the big names, especially Morgan Riley. But let's go ahead and go back and see the team here. As you can see, we do have a couple of unhappy players. So as you can see, the Harmony is doing better than it was at the end of the last season with only 2 months left on these two. Here's Zach Aston Reese, Connor Hellebuck, Andrew Peak, and Josh Morrissey. And this is our roster going forward. The lines have been set across penalty kill, the power play, the 4-on-4. Our finances are set. As you can see, we don't have a change. And our scouting, I have changed the priorities. We are going to go back to Canada and Manitoba, focus on the prospects. And if we look at the scouting so far, it's mostly an A due to our great scouting last year, so we can just leave this kind of go the whole season until the next draft. We do have several draft picks coming in this year, first, second, third, fifth, and a couple late round picks. So let's go ahead and sim to our first game on September 24th. We're back here after just one day. As you can see, there are some trades. Parker Kelly and Philip Kurashev between Chicago and Colorado and Anaheim. A third-round pick there for that young right winger. And then Colorado again. Miles Wood for a fourth, and Colorado and Chicago teaming up again. Logan O'Connor for a fifth. Hampus Lindholm placed on waivers. What's his contract? Way too much money. So that's all the emails. Let's go ahead and delete those. And we're just going to keep simming ahead to the next game. We're back here. It is Wednesday, September 24th, the night of our very first game. And as you can see, Ovechkin is tied with Wayne Gretzky. He tied on the very last game of last year's regular season, but could not get that second goal of the game to take the lead. So once we see what Washington's very first game is this season, we're going to jump into some of the third period and see if he can get that goal number 895. We're just going to go ahead and sim. We don't really need to jump in for the opening night here. If we have maybe an all-Canadian game sometime in the future, we might jump in for that. So here we are on opening night, and we lose to the LA Kings 3-0. That is another horrible first game of the season. If you recall last year, in year number 1, our first game we lost 9-6 to the Edmonton Oilers. And we were both 0 for 1 on the power play. So nothing's changed there in either direction. So we're going to go ahead and sim up to the next game. Actually, we're going to go ahead and sim one more day because I believe the Washington Capitals' first game is on the 25th. Here we are in Washington for the Capitals opening night game, and you have it, goal number 895 for Alex Ovechkin at 2:17 left in the second period. Write this one down in the history books. And we're back here on the league history screen, and there it is, Alex Ovechkin with number 895, first in goal leaders. So the question becomes now, how many can he score this season, and how many is he going to retire with? We're back here on Saturday, September 22nd for the Winnipeg Jets home opener versus the Carolina Hurricanes, and there is one trade here, Keandre Miller for Matias Maccelli, the Rangers, and the Utah HC. That was the only real news, so we're going to go ahead and delete all those. And again, we're just going to go back to the usual and sim the week and then review the games. And we're back here Monday, September 29th. And as you can see, we did beat Washington 6-1 tonight, but there were a couple emails to address here. First one is a trade between Boston and Utah. Jonathan Morello, 19-year-old center, for Tyler Johnson. And Yanni Hakanpää is injured out 1 to 2 months with a broken collarbone. We will not delay that one and we'll just replace him. Media praises Scheifele after our latest win. Again, we are going to emphasize the team effort. We will delete the rest of those. First order of business, we do not have a defenseman to bring up. Maybe Vinny Hiniola. Does he have a decent contract? Yes, but we're just going to go down to the minor leagues and find a defenseman. We might bring up Hudson Thornton, but he is in the starting lineup and we want him to grow. We might just bring up this Duzak player, offer him a contract, and then we'll just bring him up and replace him. He can be our replacement player in the NHL. So for Peak, where's Duzak? There we go. And Klingberg or Hakanpää can go to the injured list. And with that, we will delete these two emails and have a look at what happened during the week. So we lose 3-1 to the LA Kings, and then we lose 5-1 to the Carolina Hurricanes. That was a rough game. We were 0 for 5 on the power play, but so it's carried over from last season. And then our next one, we beat Washington 6-1. Who had the points for us? Scheifele 3 points, Connor 2 points, Lucius 2 points. And let's see how our power play did. We were both 0 for 2. And let's just go ahead and sim to the end of the month. So here we are, it's Wednesday, October 1st. We do have some emails to look at. The Joseph Duzak wanted number 21. He did not get it. He got number 2, I believe. And then here we are, the top selling jerseys, Connor Hellebuck, always. And then our development report. Nothing on the NHL squad, but let's go ahead and see. Gavin Hodnett screening. Not too bad. And anyone else here? Thomas Suoniemi checking. Nice. He was one of our draft picks last year. Soto Budazzoni, he was one of our draft picks. Shooting accuracy went up by 1. That's nice. He's only 19. That could grow up another 2 or 3 points over the next 3 or 4 years. And anyone else? Jack Nesbitt, he was one of our draft picks as well. Positioning, nice. And then a whole bunch of negatives for the NHL players. And the top selling jerseys in the NHL, Hellebuck number 6. And we're going to go ahead and delete those. We'll check the schedule about our monthly budget. We do have a lot of home games, so we want to take advantage of that. We're going to jack it all the way up to 12%. The scouting, any tournaments? No tournaments. So we will change the priorities away from Canada to the United States. And see what it is. Upper Midwest. Let's move the Pacific down and move the Midwest, the lower Midwest up. And with that, we will sim ahead one more week. We're back here. It is Monday, October 6th. We do have some emails here. A trade between New York and Utah. Matt Rempe for Dylan Genther. And any other ones here? Tampa Bay grabs Akil Thomas off waivers. Nothing too special there, but we'll just go ahead and delete theirs. And we were on a hot streak this week as we look back at the first 3 games. We looked at Ottawa, I believe. Let's just double check. But we did win this game 6-2. We were 2 for 3 on the power play. That's what I like to see. And then 3-1 versus Calgary. That was a pretty good game for us. Let's check our power play stats. We were 0 for 1, but that's all right. Our penalty kill was 100% again. And we'll look at the last game, a 4-0 shutout win against the Seattle Kraken. 4 points for Kyle Connor. And we were 0 for 3 on the power play, but our penalty kill was 100%. And everyone is good. Waivers, no one on waivers. All right, let's go ahead and sim one more week. It's Monday, October 13th, and we're going to go through the emails. Mark Scheifele extends his goal streak to 5. Owner goal completed. Your owner, Mark Chipman, thanks you for completing the task. Win a rivalry game. Your job security has improved. Nice. I like that aspect of the game. And any more here? Nope, so we're just going to go ahead and delete all those. And we have been on a tear. We'll look at the games. We just finished up by beating the Boston Bruins 10-4. 4 in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third. Our power play was 1 for 3. Our penalty kill, 100%. We'll work backwards here. We beat Minnesota 4-3. And let's check our stats. Ooh, 0 for 1 on the power play, but we did give up a power play goal, but we still got the win there in regulation. 5-2 against San Jose. 5-2 victory, that is. Let's check. 1 for 2 on the power play, but San Jose was 0 for 2. Nice. And I believe we have one more game. Nope, Seattle was it. So, alright, we're going to go ahead and sim one more week. So here we are on Monday, October 20th. Our record is 8-4-0. Not a bad start to the year. Kyle Connor extends his goal streak to 5. Any other kind of deals? A couple trades here between Colorado and Los Angeles. Trent Miner for a 4th. Los Angeles and Colorado again. Oh, that was just the opposite one. Never mind. Panther Star Rex one-of-a-kind car. Well, that's unfortunate. So we're just going to go ahead and delete all those and have a look at the scheduled games. So Ottawa, where were we? All right, Boston. We beat St. Louis back-to-back 3-2. We were 1 for 3 on the power play. The St. Louis was 0 for 3. Nice job. And then we lose to Montreal 5-3. Let's see who was in the net for us. Oh, it was Hellebuck. That was rough. But we were both 0 for 2 and 0 for 3 on our special teams. Not exactly what you want to see there. And then we lose again to Dallas to finish off this week. We were 0 for 1, but they were 0 for 3 on their power play. So not too bad. We're going to go ahead and sim ahead one more week. So here we are on Monday, October 27th. Prolific passing night for Elias Lindholm, 4 assists. Good for him. Ryan O'Reilly's gets 300 goals. Anything else here? Nothing too much. 1,000 games for Justin Falk. Nice job. He's only 33. We're going to go ahead and delete those. And we'll have a look at the schedule. So after losing to Dallas, we bounced back with a shutout 3-0 win against San Jose. We beat them, outscored them 8-2 in the last 2 games. Winnipeg 1 for 2 on the power play. San Jose 0 for 3. Nice. And the next game, we beat Colorado 5-1. We were 1 for 3 on the power play again. Nice. And the Avalanche 0 for 3. And the last game of the week, we beat Columbus 4-2. And we were 1 for 2 on that power play, and Columbus was 0 for 2. So after losing 2 in a row, we bounced back with a 3-game winning streak, including a shutout win against San Jose, and our power play is doing much, much better this season. So let's just have a look at the injuries. 1 to 2 months still for Yanni Hakanpää. Waivers, no players. And we're going to go ahead and just sim to November 1st. It is Saturday, November 1st. Let's have a look at some of these emails. Good night for Colby Barlow. He's one of our players. He had 4 goals. Nice. Is he growing? He's looking pretty good. Only 20 years old. Down there for the Manitoba Moose. And let's see. Chaz Lucius improves at right wing. Top selling jerseys, Connor Hellebuck. Development. Here we go. Let's see if anyone grew for us. Chaz Lucius, team player. Cole Perfetti, aggression. Josh Morrissey loses speed. Not too surprising there. Braden Yeager, shooting accuracy and positioning. Nice. Those offensive and physical ratings are looking pretty good. And his face-off ratings looking pretty good. And the top-selling jerseys, Hellebuck went from 6th up to 5th. Nice. And that's all for these messages. We're going to go ahead and look at the schedule. We did not have a good end. We lost 3 games in a row, starting with Dallas, a 4-2 loss. We were both 1 for 3 on the power play. And then a 5-4 loss in a shootout to Vegas. So we do get a point there. 0 for 4 and 0 for 5 on the power plays. And then a 6-4 loss to the New York Islanders. And we were 0 for 5 on that power play, but the Islanders were 0 for 3. And we're going to go back and look at our schedule for November. And we do only have 4 home games, so we are going to set our monthly budget back down to 3%. As you can see, we made quite a few points, like 240 points or so, 245 points, not too bad for all those home games. Our tournaments, we do have some tournaments, but very few scouts. So again, we're just going to go across here and set these scouts just to see what we can get. And it looks like they might be mostly in Europe, so we are going to change our priorities back to Western Europe prospects and the international tournaments. Sweden, Finland, Switzerland, Germany. That looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and sim a couple days to November 3rd. It's only Sunday, November 2nd, but we do have a owner confidence update. We're going to be rebuilding next year. The fans are thrilled. No need to worry. Why are we rebuilding? We were in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals last year, and we're already 11-6-1. First in the Central. Why are we going to be rebuilding? These contracts, we can easily re-sign them. Kyle Connor 100% re-sign. Lowry maybe, Henrique probably not, but why are we going to be rebuilding? Maybe that's just a glitch or something. Our penalty killing 96%, first in the league. Our power play up, it's at 19.6, 20th, which is a vast, huge improvement over last year. The media focus, positives, cheerleaders, nice. And the data, okay, we don't really need that. Harmony, I'm not going to intervene, but we are very harmonious now. Why is the GM media relationship open warfare? We do have one more goal here. That is not going to improve, so we'll just chalk that one up as a loss. And let's go ahead and sim to tomorrow, our next game. Next day, Monday, November 3rd, we do have a game against New York, but we're just going to go ahead and sim to the November 10th. So here we are on Monday, November 10th. Let's just see some of these emails here, if there was anything really happening. And there's nothing of real note here, so we're just going to go ahead and delete those. And this first week was not good for us. We were thumped. We beat the Rangers 2-1, and then we lose to the Islanders 4-1, which was not good. We were 0 for 6 on our power play. We might have to change that right now. And we lose 6-4 to Detroit. Back-to-back games. 1 for 2 there, and Detroit was 1 for 3 on their power play. Now let's see how much our power play dropped after that. Down to 17. It dropped 2% in 2 games. We're now 25th. But our penalty kill is still 94.5. So let's go ahead here and see if we can make a change on this power play, what we might suggest. Morrissey, let's move Klingberg down again for Lucius in those 2 lines. Let's give more time to the first line because in the 5-on-5 they're absolutely killing it. So let's go ahead and sim one more week and see how we do. We're back here. It's only been 1 day, and as you can see, Nikolai Ehlers has a fractured tibia. He's out 2 to 3 months. So we are going to have to replace him. Is it going to be Beecher, more defensive, or Brendan Brisson, more offensive? We're going to go ahead and put Brisson in there. I know he's a center, but we're not really trying to grow him at all. Ehlers to the injury list. And we're going to see what Brisson has to offer in terms of offensive firepower. Up and down winger. He does have the positioning and some of the speed, so we might make him an up and down winger. Let's go ahead and do that now and give him a little bit of a shooting prowess. He can shoot a little bit if it'll move. There we go. And he is going to attack with the rest of the line, but we are going to change it. We're going to move Vetrano up and replace him right there. Do a couple of these moves. Brisson is coming out of the shootout. Let's do like a Cole Perfetti there, and let's go to the power play lines. Who do we have that could replace Britton here? Just go Vetrano. Klinger. Scheifele's up with Lucius. We do not want Brisson. Well, he can't shoot, so we'll just kind of leave him there, I suppose, as an up and down winger. And as you can see, we did lose 4-3 to Montreal, which was horrible again. 0 for 5 on the power play. It might be our tactics. I might have to take a look at that. We will not delay treatment. And let's go ahead and finish simming the week. And we're back after a huge 9-0 win over the LA Kings. We scored 4 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third. We were 0 for 2 on our power play. Did anyone have a great night? 4 assists for Brisson in his first game. Nice. Vetrano 4 points, Perfetti 4 points. And in email, media praises Kyle Connor, emphasized the team effort because it was a shutout and the offense did score 9 goals. So let's go ahead and eventually finish out this week. And we're back here Sunday, November 6th, and we have a new email. The media praises Morrissey. Again, it is a team effort. So we're going to go ahead and click on that one. And let's just go ahead and sim one day. It's Monday, November 17th. We don't need any of those emails, but we will look at this week's games and review. So Vancouver, we did beat 5-1. We were 0 for 1 on the power play, not too good. And we lost, after we beat the Kings 9-0, we lose 3-0 to Nashville. We were 0 for 5 on the power play. But let's see what Brisson is doing. He's got 5 points in 3 games, a +4 on that second line. Yanni Hakanpaa's day-to-day. Ehlers still 2 to 3 months. Is there anyone on waivers? No. So let's go ahead and sim another week. So here we are Monday, November 24th. There is a trade between Chicago and Tampa. Parker Bowles for a 7th. Not too bad, I suppose. And that's about it. So we're going to delete those. And we're going to look at the schedule. We lost to Pittsburgh 5-0. 0 for 1 on the power play. Not good. And then we go back. We lost 4-3 to Florida in overtime. So at least we did get a point out of that one. We were 0 for 2 on the power play. And our previous game, we did beat Columbus 4-3 in a shootout. And we were 0 for 3 on that power play. And then the first game that of this week was on November 18th. We lose 5-4 to Toronto. And we did not have a power play at least, but Toronto was 2 for 3. So we're going to go ahead and sim up to December 1st and see what changes we really need to make. And as you can see, our first line was doing quite well. Yanni Hakanpaa's fully healed. He's going to the active roster, and we'll switch him out for Joseph Durzik, who had 4 points in 27 games. He was an even player, so he really didn't hurt us that much, for Yanni Hakanpaa. And we're going to go ahead and finish out December. We are 15-12-3 at 33 points. We are first in the Central, even with such a weak record. The good news is that the Central is a very weak division so far. And we have news: Mark Scheifele is injured. It's a small injury, 1 to 2 weeks. Reddick Fexa, day-to-day. Looks like we do have some emails here. See what happens. Eichel hurt out 2 weeks. Hakanpaa already. Scheifele out day-to-day. Yes, that was it. Montreal, LA confirmed deal. Nick Suzuki for Arthur Kaliev and a couple draft picks. And our schedule. We did beat Minnesota 4-0. 0 for 6 on our power play. That is rough. Let's go ahead and change some of these goalie stats here. We'll give our backup 2 games here just to see what he can do. So we're going to go ahead and sim to Monday, December 1st. And we're here Monday, December 1st. We do have a game away in Edmonton, but we're going to go ahead and have a look at these emails from the end of November. Best-selling jersey, Connor Hellebuck. Our development report, anyone from the minors. Gavin Hodnett, positioning, going up. He's going to be pretty good when he's ready for the NHL. Matthew Soto is passing, nice. He went up. He was a draft pick of ours last year, I remember. Nikita Chibrikov, offensive read. Nice. Brad Lambert, getting open, +1. He has a really nice offensive categories and a bit of defense categories there. So that was Lambert, Wagner, Jack Browdy, Adam Tilbeck, Jack Nesbitt, shooting range and checking. Oh, not too bad there. Let's keep scrolling. Brendan Brisson, Chaz Lucius, passing went up by 1. Nice. That's what we like to see. And he's only 22. He's got 14 points, 32, but he's a -2. That's not too bad. And best-selling jerseys, Connor Hellebuck went from 6th to 5th, back down to 11th. And the player of the month, Kyle Connor. Nice. Where is he? He's got 49 points in 32 games. He's a +20. Good for him. So we're going to delete those. We'll go ahead and check our schedule to see. We do have a pretty good amount of home games, about half and half there. So our finances are going to go up. We'll go up about 9% just to try to get a couple points there. Our scouting tournaments. We do have some tournaments. We're going to make sure we go to... Well, let's just go across again. We pretty much have all of the drafted players scouted, so we're just going to keep going across. And for priorities, we'll go to Eastern Europe. See what these countries are. Yep, Russia, Czech Republic, yep, prospects and international tournaments. And let's set our goalie stats, backup, starter, backup. I'll go ahead and do this and bring you back when I'm done. We're back here. I've gone ahead and assigned our goalie for about the next 2 months, all of December and all of January, just in case I forget. But for the tactics, I am going to look at the power play just to see what we can do here. So the power play is all about offense. Let's see what else we have here. Drop, no, swing, cut, 5 back. That's what we use as 5 back. But what is maybe just ump the center? Reduces the chance of giveaway. Yep, we'll go with that. And then the 1-3-1. We need something. Overload, no. Box, no. The umbrella. I don't like it because it's more about passing than shooting. Or that was the 1-3-1. The umbrella I don't like because it's more about passing than shooting. But we might be able to try this because it is Shifley, Morrissey, and Connor who like that one. The spread, slot set, motion, no, behind the net. We might try, let's try the umbrella just for a minute because 3 of our 5 players actually like that. And then the backup doesn't really matter too much. And let's go with the second line. This one's not overly complicated. We don't really have anyone here who likes any of the fits. We're just going to go with behind the net. Pursue aggressively, that's fine. The entire line hates it, but that's fine. And the 5-on-3 just in case. This one was the umbrella. So for the 5-on-3, we are going to go back to the umbrella just to see and add Kyle Connor into that mix. Vetrano actually likes the defensive side and the 5 back for Morrissey and Shifley. And with those changes, we are going to go ahead and sim one more week. And we're back just one more day. The owner confidence update. Oh, I seriously doubt we're going to be rebuilding. Maybe it's just the record 17-13-3. But the fans are happy and no need to worry about my job. And there's a trade here. Philip Miser for Liam O'Brien. It is Montreal and Utah. We'll just go ahead and delete those and we'll keep simming to Monday. So we're back. It's Monday, December 6th. We're just going to go ahead and check some of these emails here. Kirill Kaprizov, 5-point night. Good for him. Trade between Vancouver and Carolina. Curtis McDermott for a 7th. Big game for Patrick Laine. 4 points. Nice. We're going to go ahead and delete those emails. And we'll have a look at this week's games. We beat San Jose on Sunday 6-1. They just cannot catch a break against us. We were 3 for 4 on that power play. It might just be because San Jose is so bad, but I'll take it. We beat Calgary 2-0. That was nice. We were 0 for 2 on our power play, but we didn't take a single penalty. Nice. And then the other game, 2-1 loss to Seattle in regulation, unfortunately. 0 for 2 on that power play. And Edmonton, I believe we have not looked at yet, so we'll just go ahead and have a peek in here. We were both 0 for 2 on the power play. So nothing too special. Let's go ahead and sim one more week. We're back. It's Monday, December 15th. We're just going to have a look at these emails real quick. Nothing too important. We'll go ahead and delete them and have a look at our games. We did do pretty well. We beat Minnesota 5-4 in regulation. Minnesota had a hat trick in the first period. That's not good. But we were 1 for 4 on that power play, so hopefully that helped us out a little bit. And 6-1 against San Jose, we already looked at. Only one game the rest of that week. So let's go ahead and sim one more week. It's Wednesday, December 17th. We have an injury, Frank Vetrano, with a shoulder impingement, 1 to 2 months. So we lose two of our best shooters, Vetrano and Ehlers. 1 to 2 months still for Ehlers. So Vetrano have to do it for Beecher. Vetrano to the injured list, and let's go to the lines and see what happens. So Beecher, what are you going to help us with? What's your scouting? Toughest is his defensive play. So in terms of defense, a grinder. Yep, let's go ahead and just make him a grinder on that first line to help protect Scheifele and Connor. So he's not going to attack, but he's going to hit and check the crap out of the other team's first line, kind of beat him up a little bit. And that's all we're going to use him for on the 5-on-5. However, he is coming off the shootout and the extra attacker. We cannot be having that, so it has to be Kyle Connor. He's our next best player. And who do we have? Perfetti. Brisson actually was a pretty good shooter, so we're just going to go ahead and make him our 5th option in the shootout. And then in terms of the power play, Beecher, what about Chaz Lucius? We'll put him on the wing and put him on the 4-on-3 power play. We're going to keep Beecher in there because Morrissey, Scheifele, and Connor should help it. Actually, you know what? Let's put Brisson because he's actually got shooting skill. And we'll go with that. Let's see what happens. Emails, delayed treatment for Frank Vetrano, no. And we're going to go ahead and finish simming this week. We are here on Friday, December 19th. You can see an email, media praises Scheifele after the win. It is all about team here in Winnipeg. And we're going to finish the week. It's Monday, December 22nd. Not too much to report in terms of email, so we'll delete those and we'll have a look at the week's games. So a 7-2 loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning. We give up 6 goals in the third period. What an utter collapse. Jake Gensel, Hagel, Pesci, Gensel, Dylan Holloway. Gensel had a hat trick in the third period. Let's see what happened there. We were 2 for 4 on the power play, but the Lightning were 1 for 1. Horrible loss. We beat Toronto 7-1. We scored 4 in the second, 3 in the third. Beecher with 3 assists. And we'll have a look at the special teams here. 0 for 3 and 0 for 2. Not good. And we lost to Colorado 6-3. We gave up 4 goals in the third period. These third period collapses are crazy. We were both 1 for 3. Who were the heroes for them in the third period? Philip Khrushchev, McKinnon, Drouin, and Lucas Condotta. Alright, well, that's unfortunate, but we got to keep pressing forward. So let's go ahead and just sim to January 1st. We're back here on January 1st. We're going to go ahead and look at some of the emails. A trade between Carolina and Minnesota. Zach Bogosian for a 6th. St. Louis and Seattle. Ty Dellandrea for a 3rd. Let's see what else we have up here. Nothing major yet. A trade, Colorado and Ottawa. Nabokov and Batherson. I think Drake Batherson is a pretty good player. He is 4 stars. Wow. To Colorado. How good is Nabokov? 22-year-old goalie. Well, don't have him scouted. He's in the minors. The best players, McDavid, fastest, Carlson, hardest shot. Do we have anyone up there yet? No, we do not. The best-selling jerseys. Whoop, that's the scouting. Player pool, whoops. Okay, here we go. Connor Hellebuck again. Development report. Gavin Hodnett, determination. Suoniemi, positioning. Nice. Keep growing. Shooting accuracy for Barlow. There we go. Up to 16. Only 20 years old. He's growing nicely. Brad Lambert, positioning. Could be better. We need those offensive categories to grow. He's already 22. Jaeger, nothing. Diego Butazzoni, passing. Nice. Went up to 15 already. He was just drafted last year. Lucius Bravery went up by 1. Nothing too special for the NHL team. And Connor Hellebuck is 15th in the best-selling jerseys. Crosby and Joel Hofer are your players of the month. Let's have a look at the schedule here. The end of December, we lose 6-4 to Philadelphia. Again, we give up 3 goals in the third period. Our third period collapses are really killing us. We were 0 for 3 on the power play. And our other game, we beat Colorado 2-0. That was a good shutout for us. We were 0 for 3 on that power play. Back-to-back losses between Utah and St. Louis. We were 0 for 3 on the power play on that game. Let's see about St. Louis. We got a point. We lost 3-2 in the shootout. But we were 0 for 4 on that power play. And we lost 3-2 to Detroit. Let's see here. And we were 0 for 2 on that power play. So that is not very good. Let's check our schedule for this year. We're going to leave our finances at 9% just to make some money. We made about 100 points there, 90 points. So let's go ahead and check the goalie lines. Already good for September. And assign scouts. That's what I forgot. Any tournaments? There's 2 tournaments. There we go. And for the priorities, we're just going to go to the rest of the world and probably just leave it how it is. Yeah, Japan, China, Korea, Australia, Central Asia, other areas. See what they pull out of there for the draft. Let's have a look at our stats here, rankings. Second in penalty killing, but second last 13% power play. I have no idea what to do there. The data... yeah, that hasn't changed, obviously. And we have no conflicts. We are fully harmonious. Job security is up to an 86. -8 for the mid-season performance. We are only 22-19-4. The last month just killed us. Actually, the last 2 months. October was great. We started out like 7 or 8 or 9-2-0, and now we're 22-19-4. Let's look at the standings for the Central. We're in 5th at 48 points, and the other top teams have games in hand on us, so we really need to turn it around here. The injuries, 2 to 3 weeks for Vetrano. Ehlers, 1 to 2 months. No one on waivers, so we're going to go ahead and sim a week. We are back here. We went ahead one day to January 2nd. Let's look at the owner confidence. Again, we're going to be rebuilding. The fans are very pleased. No need to worry about my job. Let's delete those emails, nothing else relevant, and we'll go ahead and finish the week. Here we are, it's Monday, January 5th. Let's go ahead and look at the emails, and we do have a trade between Ottawa and San Jose. Xavier Bourgault for a third. Not too bad. And Kevin Ball was on waivers. I would not have claimed him anyways. Let's delete those emails and have a look at the games. We beat the Nashville Predators 5-4. Let's have a look. We were 2 for 4 on the power play. The penalty kill was 0 for 5. Nice. And I believe we already looked at the... oh, we did not look at Vancouver, but we lost 4-1. We gave up another 2 goals in the third period, another third period collapse. They were 1 for 4 on the power play. We were 1 for 3. And injuries, 1 to 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Let's go ahead and sim a week. It's Monday, January 12th. We did have a couple big wins there. We beat Ottawa 4-2, Philly 5-1. We'll look at that in 1 second. But first, let's have a look at these emails. A trade between Ottawa and Carolina. Toure for a 5th round pick. Kyle Connor gets 300 goals. Henrique with 300 goals. We're going to go ahead and delete those and have a look at our games. So Philly was 5-1 win. Nice. 1 for 2 on that power play. Nice. And the Ottawa Senators, we beat them 4-2. We scored 3 in the first. We were 1 for 4 on that power play. Good. Any other games that we did not look at? We lost to Colorado 3-1, unfortunately. We were both 0 for 2 on the power play. And the last game, I believe, a loss to the Utah HC 3-2. Alright, injures day-to-day for Vetrano 2 to 3 weeks. And let's go ahead and sim another week. It's only Saturday, but we do have emails. Delayed treatment for Kyle Connor. Torn flexator tendon 3 to 4 months. Nope. Media praises Hellebuck. It is a team effort. The injuries are killing us here. What are we going to do? We don't have anyone to put in. Day-to-day, can Vetrano come back early? He can, so we're just going to go like this. Vetrano up. And Kyle Connor had 76 points in 53 games, a plus 24. But there's nothing we can do about it. Frank Vetrano, get in there. Hopefully you can light a spark for us. Connor to the injured list. And let's see, Vetrano in there, the sniper, Beecher, yep, power play, Vetrano, penalty killing, and Frank Vetrano, Brisson, Scheifele. Let's put Vetrano on the wing with Scheifele. And it is Saturday. Let's go ahead and finish the week. It's Monday, January 19th. Let's have a look at some of these emails, and nothing really to report, so we'll go ahead and delete those and have a look at the week's games. We beat the Rangers 4-3. They were 0 for 6 on the power play. That's fantastic. And we beat Chicago 4-1. We were 1 for 5 on the power play. It would have been nice to have a 2 or 3 for 5, but Chicago was 0 for 3. We beat Washington again 4-2. We were 1 for 3, but the Washington was 1 for 3 on the power plays as well. And we looked at Philly that we beat. So there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game winning streak we're on right now, which is nice. It did cost us our best player, though, in Kyle Connor. He was a leading goal scorer, 41 goals in 53 games to go along with his 76 points. But I don't know what else to do. We need to deal with these injuries, so we're going to go ahead and sim another week. It's Friday, January 23rd. We have another injury. Nino Niederreiter, a fractured rib, out 2 to 3 weeks. Can Nikolai Ehlers come back? He can, so he's got to get in there. Hopefully he doesn't re-injure that or aggravate it and he has to come out. So Niederreiter for Nikolai Ehlers. Let's go back to the lines and put Ehlers back on that first line where he belongs. So Ehlers, let's see, for Brisson, there we go, there's that, and the power play is the last one, Nikolai Ehlers for Brisson, and on all of these lines for Chaz Lucius. Put him back on his wing. I don't know what we're going to do with these injuries, but yep, 3 to 4 months for Kyle Connor, and 2 to 3 weeks for Nino Niederreiter. What were his stats? 22 points in 56 games, but he was a +4. We'll go back to the emails. Delayed treatment? No. Any other? Trevor Zegras re-signs with the Anaheim Ducks. 5 years, $32.5 million. Not too bad for him. And we're going to go ahead and delete these and finish out the week. Monday, January 26th. As we go through the emails, nothing too special there, but we do have a trade. Thomas Hamara for a second-round pick between Ottawa and Carolina. We'll delete those and have a look at the games. And we had a 5-game winning streak followed by a 3-game losing streak. First one to Vancouver, 5-2 loss. We were 0 for 3 on our power play. The one before that, the Anaheim Ducks. We gave up 4 goals in the second period. It was Gauthier, Fowler, Colangelo, and Zegras. We were 0 for 1 on our power play. The game before that, a 7-4 loss to the Oilers. We gave up 4 goals in the second period again. I don't know if our players are tired or what, but my God. 1 for 1 on our power play, so that was the one bright spot of that game, I guess. And injuries, yep, 2 to 3 weeks, 3 to 4 months. So let's go ahead and finish out the month. We're back here at Sunday, February 1st, so let's have a look at these emails and see if anything of note happened. Trevor Zegras with a 6-point night. He's really earning that new contract there. Robertson has a point streak in 20 games there. Hintz with a point streak in 16. Robertson extends his point streak to 21. And that was about it. He is fully healthy, so that's good. He did not re-injure his previous injury. And our development report. Gavin Hodnett, strength. He's only 5'10", 175, so I guess that's okay. Dmitry Kuzmin's shooting accuracy, hitting is pretty good. I guess up to 13. He needs to grow more on both the offensive and defensive ratings. He's already 22. Lambert with an offensive read, +1. That's fantastic. See who else we got here. Hudson Thornton, there we go. That player we signed from Manitoba, offensive read up by 1. Perfect. And he's only 22 with that offensive category. He'll be ready next year. Who else do we have? Hudson Thornton, Wagner, Braden Yeager, stick checking. Oh, not too bad. And Diego Budazzoni, stick checking. He could use a little work. He is only 20. Jack Nesbitt, passing and stick checking. Nice. So his passing's up to 12. His stick checking up to 12. All right. How big is he? His hitting's at 15. 6'4", 197. Center power forward. Brendan Brisson went up, passing and stick checking. Nice. That was a good signing for us, or a good waiver claim. Chaz Lucius, passing and defensive read, perfect. Passing up to 17, defensive read up to 13, and he still has 3 years of growth. He is going to be a great player for us in the future at a very, very good contract. Let's see who lost a couple points. Comrie, yeah. Henrique, of course. Niederreiter, yep. And Sissons. All right. Top selling jerseys, Connor Hellebuck from 15th up to 12th. Jason Robertson with a contract extension. Let's see what he signed for. 6 years, 9.8. Nice. Well, good for him. He's only 26 years old. And a trade. And the players of the month, Jason Robertson and Sergei Bobrovsky. Let's go ahead and check our schedule for February. A lot of home games, even though there's only 5. So we're going to up it to 12% bonus to try to make some money. We'll assign the scouts. Just go across to Beijing, and the Winter Olympics are this year. And all the way across, here we go. Priorities. We're just going to go back to the U.S. and start our scouting over. The goalie stats, starters, a backup. No, we need to rely on Hellebuck as much as possible. Hellebuck, the backup. And there we are for the month of February. But let's see Eric Comrie's stats. He's not hurting us. He's 7-6-1, a 904, but 3 goals against. What is Connor Hellebuck doing? He's 22, 21, and probably 4 with... But he does have 5 shutouts again. So neither one of them are really the problem. Our info, 14% on the power play. We're 8th in goals. First in the penalty kill at 86.7. Let's see if there's a goalie we can trade for. The trade block, a backup goalie, perhaps. Anything here? Sam Montebeau. Well, that might work. He has more green stats, but that contract, I don't know. Let's keep going. Clay Stevenson. Nope, he's not scouted. It looks like we might have to stay with Comrie here. Yeah. Who is this? Victor Ostrom. Victor Ostman. Yep, so we're just going to stay because Comrie's really not hurting us. He has a 904 save percentage and Hellebuck with a 908. The injuries, 1 to 2 weeks for Niederreiter, still 3 to 4 months Connor, and no one on waivers. Let's go ahead and just sim the whole month of March. It's Thursday, February 19th, and Nino Niederreiter is eligible to come back to the active roster. He is fully healed. So let's plug him back in. Well, right now it doesn't really matter. Let's look at the emails so far. The owner confidence update was, we're very pleased with you, no need to worry, but taking a longer view, we're not expecting to be a serious contender next year. That is absolutely horrible with our season record at 31-28-4. That is not very good for this kind of team. But we do have a trade here, Ottawa-Nashville. Jorian Donovan for a third. Let's scroll up and see what else we can find here. It's just mostly the Olympics. We do have a trade here, New York and Edmonton, Kyle McLean for a fifth. And that's about it for email. So we're just going to go ahead and finish simming. We're back at Sunday, March 1st. Let's have a look at these emails. We got most of them. A trade here between New York and Montreal, a fifth for Alexei Molinen. A trade between New York and Montreal. Jansen Harkins for a third. A trade between Boston and Ottawa, a fifth for Mad Sogard. Let's see here. Trade between Dallas and Ottawa. Garrett Pylon for a third-round pick. The owner, Mark Chipman, has made a request, acquire some chemistry. I don't really know what that means, so we're going to have a look. We have another trade here between New York and Los Angeles. Dennis Goodbog for a fourth. The trade deadline is coming up in 2 days, so we'll have to see about that. Morgan Geekie for a third between Boston and New Jersey. Trade between Colorado and Tampa. A seventh for Alex Svetlikov, 24-year-old center. And the best-selling Winnipeg jerseys, Scheifele and Hellebuck. And our development report. Let's see what we've got here. Logan Conrad stick checking. Nice. Matthew Soto stick checking went up. Not sure why so much defense on him though. Christopher Brown faceoffs and puck handling. Not too bad. Stick checking for Tillback. Alright, up to a 14. It seems like that's been popular training the last few months. Chaz Lucius Bravery, Cole Perfetti stick checking. Nice. He is growing very well for us. He's going to be a solid player. Might have to re-sign him soon. And the best-selling jerseys, Connor Hellebuck is no longer in the top 20 because our record is only 32-30-4 and no one wants to watch us. And we have a trade between Colorado and Pittsburgh, a seventh for Ross Armour. The players of the month, Adam Fox and John Gibson. So we're just going to go ahead and delete all those. Have a look at our monthly budget. We are going to lower the budget a couple points because we do not have that many home games, but we will look at February's games and see how that went. A win on February 27th against Utah. 1 for 3 on the power play, that's good. A 4-3 loss to the Blues. 1 for 3 on our power play, that's good. Let's look at the other game. A loss to Buffalo 5-2. They were 1 for 6 on the power play, but we were 0 for 2. It's rough. And a win against Seattle. We did have 3 goals in the first. We were 0 for 2 on that power play. The New Jersey Devils, a 6-5 loss. We gave up 3 in the third period. Another third period collapse. And we were both 0 for 2 on that power play. Let's have a look at the scouting. And we do have quite a few tournaments here, so we're just going to go ahead and go across with our scouts and see what happens. And our priorities back to Manitoba. And we're going to go ahead and sim to the trade deadline in a few days. It is Tuesday, March 3rd. It is the trade deadline day. First email is the owner confidence. The fans are still very pleased. No need to worry about my job. That's good. And another request, fix roster weakness. Let's see what he has to say about that because we have a lot of them right now. Trade between Colorado and Montreal. Callum Ritchie for a first, a 21-year-old center. Pretty good. And now that it is the trade deadline day, we do have quite a few trades to look at. Ivan for a fourth between Colorado-Pittsburgh. Colorado-Pittsburgh again. Jean-Luc Foudy for a third. Detroit-Pittsburgh. Simon Edvinson for a second. Pretty good prospect there. Detroit-Carolina. Marco Casper for a first-round pick. All right. Detroit-Calgary. Nate Danielson, 21-year-old center for a first-round pick. A lot of first-round picks trading hands here. A trade between Detroit and Carolina. Jacob Rychlovsky for a sixth. Detroit-Tampa Bay. Chris Jandrick for a sixth. Detroit-Calgary. William Trudeau for a third. Detroit-Calgary again, Eetu Luostarinen. I think that's the second time he's been traded in the last 2 years for a second-round pick. Trade between Utah and Pittsburgh. Connor Geekie for a first-round pick. St. Louis, New York. Colton Parayko to the New York Islanders for, what was that? Pick for Thomas Tatar. And then we have a trade Vancouver, Carolina. Devontae Stevens for a sixth. Detroit, Ottawa again. Donovan Sabragano for Glenn Gowden. Detroit and Ottawa again. Blake Montgomery for Soderblom. And that is the end of the emails. It is now our turn to see if we want to make a trade. First, let's have a look and see what the job security is. So, by the end of the season, no longer have a roster weakness at right defender. We'll see about that. Acquire a player currently on the line chemistry list of Kyle Connor. Probably not going to do that because he has chemistry with Scheifele and Ehlers. So let's go back to right defense, see who we have here. Mayfield, Carlo, and Klingberg. Yeah, it might be. See what we can get for John Klingberg on the trade block. Let's see here. He's probably the one who's going to go, if anyone. Yanis Moser, he might be it, but he's not fully scouted. He's the best defenseman available. Who's this? Hanson Bukata. There we go. He could play on the right, though. Let's see if they want John Klingberg for him. Let's see, defenseman. Whoop. Here we go. John Klingberg. Hardly likely, of course. We're probably just going to let that one go. How long do we have for that? Priority low. Oh, that was Kyle Connor. Right defenseman. Priority low, so we still have another year to finish that one. And, alright. I don't think there's anyone really on the trade deadline. We just need to play better this year. Anyone by potential? Who's this? Tanner Molendyk. Nope. Anyone potential again? Who is this? Brett Berard. Nope. So this is our team. We are actually still in a pretty good playoff hunt. If you look at the standings here, we're tied with St. Louis at 70 points, and we're also within reach of these wild cards, so we are doing pretty well. Scheifele has 90 points already in 67 games, 57 and 67. And Kyle Connor's been on 41 goals for like the last month and a half. That tells you how good he was the first few months, that he's still fourth in scoring. So that was a huge, huge loss for us when Kyle Connor went down on January 16th, about a month and a half ago. No one really on Vasily Panomorov. Nope. Going to pass on him. This is our team. So we're just going to go ahead and sim through the trade deadline to the end of the week. It's Monday, March 9th. We're going to go ahead and have a look at these emails. Nothing too special there. Our record is 34, 32, and 4. 1 to 2 months for Kyle Connor. Let's go ahead and have a look at the schedule. So we started off by beating Anaheim 5 to 3, which was good. We were 0 for 2 on that power play. And we beat Nashville 2 to 1, so that was a good start to March. We were 0 for 3 on that power play. And then we lose to Buffalo 4 to 2. We were 0 for 6 on our power play. That cost us the game right there. And then we lose 5 to 2 to Boston. We gave up 3 in the third, another third period collapse. And we were 0 for 3 on our power play. So same problems, no idea how to really fix it. But 92 points for Scheifele, 76 for Connor, and then Perfetti way down at 53. Scheifele's almost doubling Cole Perfetti and everyone else's points down there. Power play 14%. I don't know what's wrong, but let's set the goalie lines. Connor Hellebuck is ice cold. We only have 10 games left, so we're just going to give him all the starts, and whatever happens, happens. Well, Carolina will give the backup Comrie 1, and then we're just going to go with Hellebuck. 9 out of our last 10 games. Let's go another week. And we're back here. It's Wednesday, April 1st. Let's go ahead and have a look at these emails here. See if there's anything big that happened. Nothing so far. Let's see, nothing really so far. Now that the trade deadline's over, there's really not much to go on. Here we go. Top selling jerseys for March. It is Hellebuck and Scheifele. Our development report. Justin Carbonneau. Defensive read, nothing special there. Gavin Hodnick getting open, +1. That's a good growth for him. Tumos Suonyemi, defensive read. I'm always going to get that name wrong. Colby Barlow, offensive read, +1. That's great. For a 21-year-old, that is a perfect growth of a player right there. Brad Lambert, shooting range and faceoffs. Faceoffs up to 15. Nice. Right wing center, we might have to make him the center playmaker there. Thomas Milic, low shots, +1. 22 years old, not too bad for maybe a backup goalie in the future. Hudson Thornton, Jack Nesbitt, shooting range and hitting up to 16, 6'4", 197. Maybe like a fourth line power forward. Chaz Lucius, fighting bravery screening. His screening went up to a 16. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. Pretty good there. And Cole Perfetti, offensive read, +1. That is, his growth is amazing right there. He's grown a lot in the last 2 years. And the minus for Zach Aston Reese. The top selling jerseys, Connor Hellebuck. We won a couple games there in March, but not quite enough. He's up to 7th. And Jake Ottinger and Thomas Hertl are your players of the month of March. Our monthly budget, we only have 1 game left in the season, so we're going to go ahead and go back down to 0 to save some points. Scouting, we're just going to go to a couple select ones here, like the Calder. Whoops. And that's really all I care about scouting now, so our priority is going to be stay in Canada. And the schedule for March. We'll go backwards. We did beat Vegas 6 to 5. We gave up 4 goals in the second period. The second and third period collapses are horrible. We were 1 for 3 on that power play. We beat Edmonton 8 to 5. 4 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third. We were 2 for 3 on that power play. Then the huge losing streak came, or the big losses. Lost to LA in regulation. We gave up 3 goals in the third period, another collapse. We were 1 for 2 on that power play. We lose to Anaheim 3 to 2. We were 0 for 1 on our power play. We lost to Chicago 5 to 1. We gave up 3 goals in the second period. We were both 1 for 3 on that power play. And we beat Vegas again 5 to 2. We were 0 for 4 on our power play. We beat Florida 4-3. We were 0 for 4 on that power play. We beat Tampa 4-0. We were 2 for 3 on our power play there. Boston 5-2, and that's where we started. So we started off hot, winning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of our first 7, and then 3 losses in a row and 2 losses in a row, and we just couldn't keep it. So we do have 1 game left. We're just going to go ahead and sim one day and see what happens. And we lose 5-1. So our record is 40, 38, and 4. What a horrible season for us. Media criticizes Lowry. I'm going to refuse to comment. And our owner confidence update. The fans are pleased. No need to worry. Well, that's good after what a horrible, horrible season that was. So let's just go to sim up a week and see what happens here. Shifley with 106 points and 65 assists, though, in 82 games. Not too bad. So we'll bring it back here and see what happens. Some emails. McDavid extends in Edmonton. What's his contract like? 8 years, $12 million per. That's definitely worth that. Was that a pay cut or an increase? That's a huge increase. $2 million a year. He's definitely worth it. So we're going to delete those. And let's go ahead one day to the award nominees. Not like we're going to have anything. No emails there that are important. Let's go ahead one more day. And the award nominees. The Hart, Roman Josi, nice. Cale Makar and McDavid. The Vezina, Darcy Kemper, Daniil Tarasov, and Yuzi Saros. Norris, Josi, Makar, Dahlin. The Calder, Chaz Lucius for the Calder. 45 points in 82 games, but a -7. What is Jacob Perreault? 84 points in 77 games. There's no way. And 58 and 82 a +6. Yeah, Chaz Lucius is going to get destroyed in that race. Executive of the Year, not me. Selke, nothing this year. The Lady Bing, Shifley, might be able to get that. Messier, nothing. Lindsay, nothing. Jack Adams, nothing. Andrew Peak, prime to return. Well, too little, too late. So let's go ahead and Kyle Connor's still 1 to 2 months. No one's going to be on waiver. Let's look at these stats for the season. Our points leader is Mark Scheifele. Connor with 76. Perfetti with 64. Our plus-minus leader, a +26 for Frank Vetrano. That's horrible. Our power play points, only 7 in 53 games for Connor. Only 7 for Mark Scheifele in 82 games. I don't know what to do. That's 2 years in a row our power play has probably cost us a championship last year and the playoffs this year. Let's go to defensive stats. Hits, 162 for Morrissey, nice. Takeaways to giveaways. Shifley, 74-61, 67-15 for Morrissey. 58 takeaways to 8 giveaways for John Klingberg, nice. 52-24 for Carlo. 41-20 for Peak. 38-16 for Mayfield. So our defense really did its job. And let's look at the goalie stats. Connor Hellebuck, 32, 30, and 4 with 6 shutouts, a 905, and a 301 goals against. And Comrie was 8, 8, and 0, 1 shutout, a 901, and a 317. So our goaltending really didn't help us either. Even though Connor Hellebuck technically had a winning record, he was actually 2 games below. But those are the breaks, and we're going to see what happens next year. Let's have a look at the stats in history to see how much Alex Ovechkin ended with. And 929. 929. He only had 35 goals this season, but will he extend his contract and go? He did extend 1 year, 4.6. So is he going to hit 1,000 goals by the time he ends it? He only needs 71 more. That's probably 2 more seasons. And he's 40 years old, about to be 41, so we'll see about that. We are at the first day of the playoffs, so let's take a look at the playoff tree. It's not there yet, maybe tomorrow. And here we are at the first round of the playoffs. We'll delete those emails and have a look at the playoff tree. So in the West, you have Edmonton at the Kings, Calgary at Vegas. San Jose Sharks made the playoffs. Good for them. And so did the Blackhawks. And then St. Louis and Dallas. And here in the East, you have Boston and Buffalo, Florida and Montreal, Toronto and the Rangers, and Philly and Pittsburgh. What a rivalry series that's going to be. So will Toronto, after trading away their first Conn Smythe winner, Morgan Riley, are they going to repeat as their Stanley Cup champions? And let's have a look possibly at the season stats, if I can find that. Roster stats. Here we go. We'll go to, this is player stats. So goals, Robertson assists, McDavid 84 assists. My God, 121 points. 400 shot, plus 49 for Jack Quinn. Power play goals, 24 for Connor Bedard. He had more power play goals than 90% of our team had points total. We need to figure out that power play. Face-off percent, 60% for John Tavares. Fantilli, 58. Lowry, 57%. Nice. And he's the only one there. Let's go to goalie leaders. See what's up here. Yeah. Wins, Bobrovsky, Sorokin, 49 losses. Ties, overtime losses. Kolosev, 9. Save percentage, 261 for Caden Primo. Shutout, 7 for Darcy Kemper. Save percent, 920 for Mitchell Gibson. Nice. And 2,699 saves on the season for Sorokin. So we will end it there by once again looking at the playoff picture. I'm sorry we had such a horrible season when it began so promisingly. But we'll see you in the next one for the 2026 playoffs.